So, again, NFL.com. We'll start off with the Ravens. They got the grade of B+. Their notable draft picks: Kyle Hamilton in the first round, Tyler Linderbaum in the first round, David Ajabo, second-round pick, Travis Jones, defensive tackle, in the third. Fourth rounders, they had a ton of fourth rounders. Daniel Falele, tackle, Jalen Armour Davis, cornerback, Charlie Kohler, tight end, Jordan Stout, punter, Isaiah Likely, tight end, Demarion Williams, cornerback. Those were all their fourth round picks.
Yeah.
Round 6,
A lot of
Tyler Beatty,
picks, bro.
running back, and then free agent signee, Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
2 games, 1 start.
He's the one who came in versus us, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely him.
I don't remember him starting. Did he start after that?
Was
He
it the
must have.
following week?
He
Yeah,
must
I
have.
think the following week because Huntley was still out. Yeah. That's
So
crazy.
They gave the Ravens a B+ grade for that draft class. For the Steelers, they gave us a B+.
Okay.
Round 1, Kenny Pickett. Round 2, George Pickens. Round 3, DeMarvin Leal. Round 6, Connor Hayward. Round 7, Mark Robinson. Round 7, Chris Oladokun. And our big free agent signing.
Super Bowl champion Chris Oladokun. Let's put some respect on his name.
He's on the team.
I thought
he finished the season on the team?
He's still up there, right? I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to make sure real quick. But yeah, man, that's Super Bowl champion, bro.
I guess. He might be on their practice squad still.
As long as he out there, he got a ring, baby. Hold on. Yeah, he's still on the roster. Number 14, man. Yeah. He's Super Bowl champ, bro. Active. Shout out to the Super Bowl champ, man. Hey. It's the Steeler way.
Well, that was our 7th round pick.
There you go.
And our big free agent signing was Jalen Warren, running back.
And Chris just re-signed a futures reserve contract to stay in Kansas City.
Good for him.
Yeah, shout out to see. You come through Pittsburgh, man, good things happen to you. Yeah.
They gave Cincy and their draft class a C+. Daxton Hill was their first round pick out of Michigan, DB. Round 2 was Cam Taylor-Britt, cornerback. Round 3, Zach Carter, defensive lineman. Round 4, Cordell Volson, O-lineman. Round 5, Tyson Anderson, DB. Round 7, Jeff Gunter, defensive lineman. And then their notable free agent signing was Cal Adamitis, their long snapper.
Okay.
Finally, the Browns. They gave
The Browns
a C+ as well. MJ Emerson was their first pick, and this was in round 3. They don't have early picks because of the Deshaun Watson
I was about
trade.
to say their first round and second round is Deshaun Watson. That's
MJ Emerson, he was a defensive back. He played 17 games, had 6 starts for them. Alex Wright, also in the 3rd round at 78, 17 games, 5 starts. David Bell, receiver out of Purdue, was their 99th pick, also in the 3rd round, 16 games, 3 starts. Round 4, Perry and Winfrey. I remember I was talking about him. Defensive tackle.
Who's what? Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. Pick Cade York, kicker. That was a bad pick. Round 5, Jerome Ford, running back. Round 6, Michael Woods, receiver. Round 7, Isaiah Thomas, defensive end. Also in the 7th, they took Dawson Deaton, center. Notable free agent signings, DeAnthony Bell, safety. He had 2 starts for them. And Ben Still, defensive tackle. He ended up having 1 start.
Okay. So how'd you feel about the B+ ranking? Because essentially they have us tied with Baltimore in terms of this draft class.
Right.
1 year removed review.
Right. Yeah, Baltimore had a good draft. I think we had a really good draft. I think it's just all in what you're looking for if you're going to give the edge to one team over the other. Okay. Baltimore had a lot more picks.
Yeah.
They had 2 first-round picks. Now, they hit on both of them, Kyle Hamilton and Linderbaum. But from top to bottom, I like ours. I'll take us with Pickett. You got your franchise cornerback. So you want to talk about the amount of picks the Ravens had. I feel like the impact we're going to be having from ours, particularly with Pickett being our hopeful franchise quarterback, is going to be more felt with the Steelers. I feel like we obviously saw that in the second half of the season and what he was doing for us. Pickens, a wide receiver 1, potential wide receiver 1 in the 2nd round. Yeah. I like Leal in the 3rd. Like we got Robinson we're talking about, potentially getting time for us next season. Connor Hayward at tight end. We know the type of plays he was making. That was our 6th round pick. And then Jalen Warren as our undrafted free agent signee. Yeah. I like ours from top to bottom over the Ravens. So I'd give us the edge for sure.
Okay. Yeah, for me, man, I thought the grade was appropriate. The B plus I like. Number one with Kenny, you have a quarterback that at least shows you enough that it's a conversation about could he be your franchise quarterback. I think that's a huge, step in the right direction, especially when you talk about that position. George Pickens, another one where you feel like, man, this guy looks like a bona fide wide receiver one franchise caliber talent. So I like that part as well. The thing with both of those guys is this, though. I still feel like we're leaning more projection versus like the actual like numbers to reflect just yet. So that's the only reason why it's like I can understand them not going over the top A+ with them, even though we saw a ton of good from both of those guys. DeMarvin Leal missed some time, but when he did play, especially in the second half of the season, the productivity was there. Connor Hayward, second half of the season, we really could see his impact, and we could feel good about that. But once again, it's still like, as we were talking about earlier in the show, we know he's capable of a lot, but now we want them to actually like implement it, feature it, and show that it can be that. That's the only thing, like I said, with Connor, but we feel extremely confident with him. Mark Robinson, man, this dude came out of nowhere at the end of the season and gave us big-time snaps. Chris Oladukin went and won a Super Bowl, so that still has to count for something. And Jalen Warren, I mean, this dude didn't start at all this season, but we know he was our bona fide number 2 running back, and we feel extremely confident that – have we even talked about running backs this offseason? I don't think we – have we talked about running backs yet?
Bringing in guys?
Yeah.
No, we're not. Because
Jalen Warren, absolutely. Yeah. Unless you want to get Bijan Robinson. Just, you did it before. I just
not in real life. Just mad.
But it worked. Did it work in the game?
It's worked so far.
That's all I'm saying, bro.
It has worked so far.
He'll be available.
We're not doing that.
So we could do it for wide receiver. We can't do it for Bijan.
Yeah, just different.
It's just. No, Philly had multiple running backs. Philly done 3 running backs.
I'm good with Najee and Warren.
Got 3 running backs.
I think we're set with Najee and Warren.
You sure?
Yeah.
Just bring it in, spice it up, man. We just go 3-head monster this thing. Just run. Remember when Baltimore was running with 3 running backs? They did it to J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. Who was the other guy? It was like 2 other dudes they had, man. It's like a whole rotation.
Yeah, but they didn't allocate that many resources into that. Dobbins a second-round pick. Where the hell was Gus Edwards drafted?
Yeah, good call.
I mean, they're bringing who are the other guys in that rotation too? They had Bell.
Bell came through.
Latavius Murray.
No, it was another cat. Oh my gosh. Yo, was it Freeman?
Probably.
I feel like he went over there for a little while. Like they went through the real Rolodex, man. But no, man, as a whole though, man, I thought our class, man, we hit on, in terms of top to bottom, I'm with you 100%. I think that we did solidify all of that. And now it's just how good can they truly be? What's their ceiling? But I do like the B+ grade in terms of us. And at the same time, man, I'm not surprised that they gave Baltimore B+, because how many times do we say we are very similar in terms of how we build our teams? We're very similar in terms of how we are run. And it's just different. Obviously, we only had 1 first-round pick. We went quarterback. They went safety and center. Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum. I think that if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, you're feeling extremely confident in both of those guys' ability and the productivity that you saw this year from them. David Ojogba, I mean, he's a dude that coming out. No,
he was supposed to be first.
He was supposed to be really good. Yeah. So it's like, we'll see what that looks like, but it's kind of like incomplete in terms of evaluating him. Travis Jones, I like him, man. Good, really good interior D lineman, nose tackle guy that we talked about even drafting here. Daniel Falele and this litany of 4th-round picks. Daniel, yes, but more importantly, I look at the Isaiah Likely pick in the 4th round, and man, he was obviously a guy that did provide productivity for Baltimore. So I think of that, and then I don't like the fact they included him in here because of obviously how the game went versus him when we played him. But Anthony Brown, it's like I just keep seeing that daggone play action pass from backed up that he completed, and it's just like, yo, why him? How'd you allow this to happen? But they credit that as well. So I can understand why they would give them the B+, but I'm with you. If we were gonna pick and choose, I'm leaning us. But
like if you were gonna go,
if I had to pick
through the first 2 picks, let's say you're giving me Kenny Pickett and George Pickens versus Hamilton and Linderbaum, I'm taking our first 2 picks for sure.
That's because we're in Pittsburgh. If I have Lamar Jackson on my team, I'm not tripping on Kenny Pickett and George Pickens. I'm saying give me Kyle Hamilton and the center Ty Linderbaum is gonna protect it. It's just different positions. Yeah, and we know one is quarterback. So quarterback, as we've talked about on numerous occasions, is always going to have an extra level of, severity to it, or extra level that we look at it and hold it in reverence. But I guess I just think it's just different because of the positions. Safety and center. How do we compare safety and center versus a quarterback? When the quarterback touches the ball every single time, the quarterback's going to get credited with the win, stuff like that. But to me, Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Linderbaum, the same way we feel about George Pickens and potentially Kenny Pickett, you look at those two dudes, and I can understand Ravens fans talking about, man, I'm taking them dudes over Kenny Pickett any day. We don't feel like that, but I can understand why they might feel like that.
And then, round 2 is a tough one just because we're still out on Ajabo.
Yeah.
Travis Jones, he was doing some stuff for them, but you look at the rest of
DeMarvin, I feel like are a wash, though.
Sure. That's what I was going to say. You look at the rest of our draft, you have DeMarvin Leal. He was doing some stuff. The only problem with him was the injuries. But Connor Hayward, as much as he wasn't utilized that much, when he had big plays, like impactful plays.
See,
and then Jaylen Warren, too. I think he beats out any of their depth guys.
But the reason why I say, like, the similarities, when you brought up Connor Hayward, I look at Isaiah Likely, and I'm like, the way that we like Connor and we're optimistic about his role, Ravens fans are looking at Isaiah Likely very similarly because of what he was able to do as well. I think the tip for us, though, I'm with you. It is Jaylen Warren, because that is the one that did hit and has shown, even as an undrafted guy, what he was capable of. But outside of that, like, what we making a case for the punter?
What's funny, too, is Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson was the one that was shown out in that late Ravens game.
Yeah.
Like, he was part of the reason that we won, and we were able to keep them kind of contained on the ground, right? Then we was close to holding them under like 100 yards.
Because that was the switch we made in the second game versus the first game. Absolutely, man.
So I don't. In terms of draft, I just think it's a damn good draft.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Like, we hit. Like, we feel really confident.
It's a really
with
good
it.
draft.
Absolutely. It is funny though. I feel like both of us, in terms of Steelers and Ravens, probably feel really good about their draft. When you start looking Cincinnati, a little bit more question marks, right? Dax Hill was one of their top picks, but he didn't really have the same level of role when you talk Kyle Hamilton, when you talk Kenny Pickett, when you talk Linderbaum, when you talk Pickett. So it's like, it doesn't hit the same when your early pick, your guy, doesn't have that type of productivity. And like we said with Cleveland, they won't pick it to the third round because of their Deshaun Watson trade. So based on his couple of games he played this year, I take our class over his little play this year too. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it was good though, man. But I do feel like if we ranking them, I go Steelers 1, Ravens 2. Then after that, Bengals 3, Browns 4. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I would probably do the same thing.
No. I like it then.
Yeah, I'm looking through this Browns draft.
Yeah.
That Cade York pick was pretty bad. He wasn't a good kicker for him.
He wasn't, bro. The thing that's funny, though, so the Cade York I don't like, but then when I go back to Baltimore, I think of the Jordan Stout with the punting action. I'm like, okay, well, that's probably why you felt confident to move on from dude who was there. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he was there for a minute before he retired this past all season. So it's like, dang, they even got that part right, whereas Cleveland definitely did not get the kicking situation corrected. They did not do that.